grab our clipper, get the number 8, lever completely closed. But what I like to do when the hair is this long, I go ahead and grab it and then run the clipper through it. This is just to make sure that I'm feeding the hair all the way in there. Now using the fine side of the comb, recomb the hair, go over it about 2-3 times. The point of this is to get all the frizz out and make sure that the top is as even and consistent throughout. All right, that's pretty much it for the top. As you can see, the sides is still real long. We can't just go in there and set in our guidelines, so we're gonna go ahead and start with the debulking process. Using my number 3 guard, lever completely open. Using the comb to help feed it into the clipper. Make sure you move the ear out of the way, you don't wanna clip that. Go ahead and take that all around. And when debulking, especially for a mid to low fade, you don't want to go any higher than the occipital. Go ahead and clipper over comb this bulk. Using no guard and my lever is open. This doesn't have to be too perfect. Again, we're just setting up the canvas. As for all our fades, we always base them off the temple peak area. For this mid fade, I'm gonna go ahead and start my first guideline right under it. Using the clipper, no guard, lever completely closed. Just keeping that small brush on the opposite hand. As you can see, as I pass the back of the ear, I'm starting to come at a slant. Creating this drop where the occipital bone is. And just make sure that you end up at that same temple peak area. We're still using no guard. Go ahead and open up the lever. We're gonna come up about a finger's width. And just follow that same pattern, that same structure of dropping after the ear. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and put on the number 1 guard. Still leaving the lever in that fully open position. And again, coming up about a finger's width. All right, now continuing the process, we got the 1.5 guard. Again, lever completely open. And my process of thought here is to still go up about a finger's width, but I'm more so thinking of starting to connect these sides to the top. So I'm very easy with these guides, trying not to make nothing too harsh on the top of it. So we got the number 2 guard, again, lever completely open, just continuing that process. Next up, we got the number 3 guard. Using my thinning shears, We're gonna go ahead and start to remove a little bit of that weight that's in the parietal and this crown area back here. Now at this point, you should have two guidelines. The first one that we created with the lever closed and the second that we created with the lever open. We're gonna go ahead and start by removing the top one, working our way down. Now I got my half guard and I'm gonna go ahead and close the lever into a 3/4 position. And using mainly the corners of it, I'm just gonna start attacking this line. And you'll notice this step tends to always create a faint line right above it, which is right here. Try not to work your way any higher up, at least with this guard. We'll come back to that line right now. You should have two guidelines all around. We're just focusing on that top one, trying to soften it up. Now we go ahead and put the number one guard, leaving that lever in the 3/4 position. Again, using mainly just the corners. I'm gonna start attacking that faint line and just finish connecting it. All right, so at this point, we removed that second guide. Now it's time to focus on that first initial one that we created. For that one, it's gonna take a 3-step process. Again, just starting with the lever closed. Now we got halfway. And then finally, we got fully open. Now we're gonna go ahead and repeat 3-step process in front of the ear. Again, starting with the lever closed. Then we got it halfway. And then we got it fully open. We're just gonna repeat that same 3-step process all around. Again, just creating smaller subsections. Now grabbing my trimmer in this forward position so we can get that much closer to the scalp. Go ahead and turn it around and remove any faint line that creates. This is where it helps when your trimmers are zero gap. Again, they do have to be zero gap properly, because at this point, by using it in the forward position, they're prone to scratch if they're not zero gap properly. As for the sides, in order for me to have enough space to actually fade the beard in, I like to start to remove it about mid-ear. And go ahead and release the pressure as you approach the top of the hair that's left, just so we can stay with the faint line, which is going to be helped for our electric shaver, and use that as a guideline. The guideline that's left, you're gonna wanna go ahead and use the electric shaver with both foils on the scalp, just to remove the stubble that much faster. Always trying to shave against the grain. And as we approach the top of it, go ahead and turn it around, use it as if it was a pair of clippers, soften up on the grip, and just blend that in. And applying a little bit of shave gel just on the sides, because we're gonna go ahead and leave the edge up and the hairline as natural as possible. But we are gonna clean out some of this peach fuzz right here. All right guys, so there y'all have it. We went ahead and did a number 8 on top with a bald mid fade on my man Steven here. Cleaned up and lined up the beard. As always guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this tutorial. If y'all really did like it, please let us know down in the comments below. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't already. And before we go, any of the products, capes, and apparel that we use in this video and just all our tools you can find at fadedculture.com guys. Y'all can go ahead and shop there. I hope y'all enjoy and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.